everyone. My name is Caroline Mackenzie, and I'd like to thank Alta for arranging this online edition of Readings Under the Trees and for inviting me to participate. I'll be reading an excerpt of my debut novel, 1 Year of Ugly. It's released May 5th in the UK, and you can purchase a copy at amazon.co.uk and hopefully at local booksellers in Trinidad once things clear up a bit. For those of you in the UK, it can also be purchased at any major bookseller or bookstore. The US edition of the book will be available July 14th, and you can purchase that on Amazon.com and at any major US or Canadian bookstores. The book is about a family of Venezuelans who settle illegally in Trinidad and are blackmailed by a Trinidadian criminal named Ugly, hence the book's title. I'll be reading an excerpt about Yola, the protagonist, who has I don't want to give anything away. Let's just say she goes on an excursion with her love interest, who she may or may not pursue things with. You'll have to read the book to find out. Let's jump right in. On my doorstep, wondering for the 100th time if I'd completely lost my mind as I waited for the jeep to appear. The night was dead quiet except for the croaking and creeping of nocturnal animals. The ambient sounds of my street, padlocks clicking shut, deadbolts being drawn, twanging foreign accents on blue-lit screens, had long faded away. But I couldn't help scanning my neighbors' houses to see if anyone was watching me. We lived on a safe street in a decent Port of Spain suburb, knowing we'd have to stay away from the grotty areas if we didn't want national security to scoop us up like guppies in a fishnet alongside all the other illegals. But still, there wasn't a single house that wasn't walled in by at least 5 feet of concrete, painted in bubblegum Caribbean hues that belied the pulsing fear all Trinis carry with them of gunmen, bad Johns, bad man. As many words for criminals as Eskimos have for snow. Since living here, I'd forgotten what a window looked like without a grill of burglar proofing. And the fear had lodged itself in me, too. Standing outside the padlocked, burglar-proofed comfort of my own home, minutes away from 2 a.m, every sense was keenly awake, listening not just for Roman, but for anything that might be lurking in the purple-black of the Trinidadian night. At exactly 2, the jeep turned the corner. I didn't ask where we were going, just eased into my irresponsible decision like the moment right after swallowing a molly, when you know there's no point fighting it now. Just go with it and let the chemicals run through your bloodstream, pump your neurons full of glitter and the warm and fuzzies until the inevitable bitter come down. We drove along deserted streets until we finally hit the winding North Coast Road, etched into a hillside several hundred feet above sea level. As we cruised along through mist tart with salt, I looked out over the cliff drops to our left, onto the never-ending black ocean smeared white with moonlight. To our right, the verdurous savagery of raw rainforests spilled onto the road. Jurassic ferns and balize leaves, tangles of creepers and lianas, tall thickets of arched bamboo, all silent observers. We travelled through sleeping villages, past tranquil bays and overturned fishing boats discarded on the sand, along roads flanked by trees crowned with dense yellow flowers. The quietly beautiful landscape had a soporific effect, lulling us into a comfortable silence as we drove, Roman's hand firm on my bare thigh, until he veered sharply onto a dirt track, startling my senses awake again. I braced myself against the seat as we bobbled along the potholed dirt to a small clearing where Roman parked and switched off the headlights. Instantly, we were swallowed up by darkness. I heard his door open, saw the white beam of a flashlight as he pointed it to the ground. He came around to my side and took my hand, guiding me through the disorienting bush until the underbrush cleared and the ground began sloping downward, the air growing suddenly cooler, almost chilly. In the near distance, the sound of water plunging into water. Where the slant steepened, I slipped on moist leaves. Roman's arm swooped behind me, a steadying bow. I brought myself upright, and we moved further downhill. In his other hand, he held a machete, was using the flat side of the blade to push aside the leaves crisscrossing in front of us. I liked that he didn't hack them apart to clear a path. For all his proven violence, it said something that he used the machete how he did. And then we were at the edge of the tree line, looking onto a deep natural lagoon, glossy with the moon's reflection. A small waterfall gushed into the rippling water from high above, backed by raw rock face. It was beautiful, but that wasn't what he brought me to see. All around us and above the pool, the air shifted with flashing sparks of light. Hundreds of fireflies winking in the dark. A soft, silent firework display. A sheet of lightning shattered into a million scintillating splinters. Roman turned me so we were facing one another, and then pulled me against him. I looked up. Fireflies, like starry snow flurries, floated around him, and again I felt like there was no one but us in the world. Okay, so that's it from me. Thank you for listening, and thank you to everyone for participating in this really cool event. Alta, thumbs up!